Wow. Let's do it again. Right back in there. What have we got? Elena, no. Ragnora we played the other day and that wasn't too impressive. Xerix we know will be good. Shidai is surprisingly good actually. Shidai is fun. I don't think I've played Songhai yet since I picked up playing Gauntlet again. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Feels good. I'm heading off. Have fun with the next run. Oh, thank you for coming. Let's give Shidai a go. I know Xerix is probably the better card, but Shidai is fun. I mean, that's a good start. Gives us burst, gives us removal. Silverbeak is fine, but replacement level. We can definitely find other 6-drops later, and Piercing Mantis is trash, so. Easy, Tiger. Okay. Zix, I think we can ignore. This isn't a faction with swarm payoffs. It's not going to do us too many favors. RS Prophet is okay. It is an Arcanyst, which can be quite important. And it's very good with other Arcanysts over the course of the game, which is also quite important. Chakram is unlikely to come up, right? They're not going to damage us on turn 1 very often. So I think we pick the Prophet. It's an okay T-drop, but it gives some nice long game potential. A little bit of healing. Lots of spell trigger power. Like turns with plumes are big. Build Arcanyst and Gauntlet. It's always the temptation to try. Go on, we'll try. We'll leave ourselves open to it. Arcanysts are fun. Ugh. Okay. Fanblade is probably too small to really do anything. Marnikite Drifter is fine. I mean, it's a 5/5 on a major delay. A 4-mana 5/5 would probably be just like an okay card anyway. They haven't printed it, but they could have, you know what I mean? Maybe a Lionar card. They could tend to get slightly bigger minions. So this kind of leaves us with Protocol, which is probably good. Certainly having the ability to affect a fight. Yeah, you know what? It lets us move. It lets us threaten ranged units, which is pretty nice. It's good with backstab units if we pick those up, and it's good with big things that can trade easily. And we can get like Thunderhorn and all sorts of wombo combos. Lol. That's a pretty cool card. Big Primus Fist. Ethereal Blades is probably better though. Early removal. It's nice because it just kills a cheap thing. And it's also quite a lot of burst. Especially with Saberspine Tiger. I don't know, maybe this is better. This probably is better, isn't it? It's like Primus Fist, but massive. I quite like the fact that it's a large body. Plus, if we randomly pick up more of them, they can really stack up the damage. Johnny Tuskak thinks Blades. Why would you pick Blades? Not that I disagree with you, I think it's quite close. Just interested in hearing arguments for or either. I think Blades is a fine card. I'm just kind of leaning towards... Because we don't really need spell triggers, right? And it's certainly like not particularly high tier in terms of removal. It's decent burst and it's okay interaction. Whereas this also does that, but is a 5/4. Cheap buff to clear a huge minion. Probably not though. Like to clear something big, you'd have to buff something medium-sized, at which point you're trading 2 cards for 1, or buff something small and yourself, at which point you're trading 2 small cards for 1 important one, which is still not really a great plan compared to just having a minion left over. I think I'm going to take this Cold Fist. I think it's more powerful. Artifact to file. Easy. Straight up. Such a good card. Ooh. Okay. So we could try and Squadron Hawk, but that's unlikely to work in the extreme. This card is pretty good. It's flexible. Like, it's a really nice turn 1 play because it can take mana tiles from odd positions and, like, threaten trades from very far away. But I think Chakri Avatar has too much synergy potential with Shidai's BBS. This card is a surprisingly good top deck in the late game. So 3/4 that threatens to snowball. It's basically what's that Magmar Grow card called? Grimrock? It's a Grimrock, which is fine. But it's also a 2-drop. And it can get even bigger if you have more spells. So I think we're on the Avatar plan. Ooh. That's also kind of interesting, actually. Sanguinar. I think the Prismatic Illusionist's a much better card, though. I don't think we need this yet. We're not desperate. We're not desperate for 2-drops. We're not desperate for card quality in some way. Arcanyst run. It might happen. We're certainly in the right general for it. Shidai loves Arcanysts, and we've got... Yeah, you know what? Let's go all in. Let's Arcanyst. Ooh, hello. Ooh. Ooh, I want all of these. I think these two are both more important than Kaido Assassin. If I was River, this would like be slam first priority pick. As it is, the card is still very good. Especially with Chakri Avatar. It kind of plays well into having a small minion that snowballs. Like Chakri Avatar, BBS, Inner Focus, play the Petal, play this. So your opponent takes like 11 and dies, you know. Assassin have synergy with Assassination Protocol. Yeah, so I do want backstab minions for this. And then Primus is just Primus. Card's really, really good. I don't know. I think Killing Edge is going to get replaced a lot, whereas Primus is almost always going to be fantastic. We don't have any ranged units yet. We're only 8 picks in. There may be other 4-drops that may or may not be other Killing Edges. I don't know if we need this. I wish this would come up like much later so I could tell which one I actually like needed for the deck to flow best. This plays into the Arcanyst thing. We don't really need to. Like we have Shidai, so we're not starving for spells. It's good with the little tokens off Prismatic Illusionist. It's good with Saberspine Tiger. So there is some synergy with it actually. Yeah, go on. We'll pick a Killing Edge. Hello. Oh god. Oh. I should probably be picking these good stuff 4-drops, but I think I'm going to pick the Arcanyst anyway and see what happens. I have just picked a Killing Edge, which is like this into Killing Edge is such a sick turn. If we get a Mist Dragon Seal, it's really good. Assassination Protocol is pretty good with it. Cold Fist is pretty good with it. But Duelyst is Duelyst. It's amazing. Like this bar is so high. I don't know. I guess it is 3 health. So let's try it. All in. Tribal. Ooh, a ranged unit. We want that. Got a Killing Edge. It's not a good ranged unit, but it's still a ranged unit. And I think these other picks are pretty low tier. How are we doing? There's a Mist Dragon Seal as well. And 2 also very replacement level cards. We have a lot of Arcanysts. It's very hard to draft Arcanysts because you struggle to get lots of them. Oh. But this is working. Oh. Oh. Okay, so we have our backstab unit. More is generally better. But these cards are both fantastic. Kotatsu is better at triggering spells because it's cheaper and it cycles, so you can just throw it away if you need to. It's good for killing 2/3s in combination with a general hit. It's better at killing Heartseekers, eggs, random other stuff. Blood Tears and things. Walls. And Phoenix Fire is Phoenix Fire. I wonder if I want the Gotatsu. I'm really lucky with picking good cards. I mean, the cards it's been offering me are phenomenal. Like, we've passed a Primus Shieldmaster, we've passed a Duelyst. Like, I'm almost wasting the potential picking this meme deck, but like, it's working. Just need Albi Sage. Albi Sage would be ideal. Blue Conjurer obviously would be ideal. Trinity Wing we could maybe make work at this point. I think Gutatsu is better for the draw. I think having something that contests Heartseekers is probably important. And you don't want to draw too many Phoenix Fires early, because then you just like run out of cards without any board to show for it. Yeah, I'll go with this. Grailmaster, and then 2 ranged units. One of which is slightly better, one of which is memes. I actually quite rate Hank Hart. He's surprisingly annoying to kill. Like, small ranged units don't do much to him because he just heals back, so he can like heal up pings and other repeated damage. Gambler may or may not be the stronger card though. 3 health does mean it dies to Dancing Blades and Phoenix Fire. And like Lasting Judgment, where Hank Hart wouldn't. And its ability doesn't always do anything. Like, on average, it fires twice. Which, to be fair, on average is a 4-3 ranged. That's a bit unpredictable. Which is probably better than a 2-4 ranged. Well, probably. It is. Oh! Well, we can't pick that. We are definitely not picking that. Even though it's an Arcanyst. I will happily slam this Zendo. Zendo is horrible in draft. You just put a Storm Metal Golem in front of your opponent and watch them kill themselves. That is really gross. Substitute. I've forgotten this card existed. Switch positions between a friendly minion and your general. Huh, that's cool. Nice flavor. I wonder if there's anything like stupid we could do with that. I don't think it's stupid enough to take over these though. I don't actually know if we want the Hank. Like, a third 2-power ranged minion is not really good, compared to just having this thing that you can chuck in the middle of the board on turn 2. Or, you know, whenever. Purgatos is a very nice defensive minion. 5 health with that ability is really strong. And it's also good with, like, Mist Dragon and stuff. We've got Assassination Protocol. It's also a bit of healing, which we don't have yet, apart from 4 Winds. Slam this Phoenix Fire, I think. Heartseeker is okay, but not really worth a card by itself because it's so small. I mean, we do have an Arrow Whistler and a Killing Edge, which maybe makes it better, I guess. Ghost Lightning, likewise, most of the time you just replace it. Or it's a worse Kotatsu. And Phoenix Fire is just such a good all-rounder. Amazing card. Sapphire Seer or Ash Method. How's our curve? We have no 5-drops, and we have like 2 3-drops. So we could use either of these. Seer is very nice with Killing Edge, actually. And Cold Fist. Maybe even Assassination Protocol, like, in a pinch. Ash Method doesn't have any synergy. And just makes some 2-3s. So I think we pick the Seer. It's a pretty reasonable card. Beastbound Savage. Oh, yeah. Prismatic Illusionist. And Impervious Giago. Okay. So, I don't know if a second Illusionist is particularly good compared to these powerful, proactive and defensive cards, respectively. Beastbound Savage is fine even without a Killing Edge. How does Protocol interact with Celerity? I think it still moves twice, right? What stats did Purgatos have before the buff? Yeah, it was a 3-4. Yeah, making him a 3-5 was a big buff. Huge improvement. I think this is the Giago. It protects us, it protects our ranged units, our squishy Arcanysts. Like, we have very few units that can just kind of stand in the middle and fight things, like the Purgatos can. And it's funny with Zendo, because they'll keep making the Giago larger. Like, we do actually need some bombs at this point. Jade Monk, Drifter, Blood Rage. This is interesting, but it's only going to be, it's going to be like maybe 3 or 4 face damage, and that costs a card, and that's not worth it. Late game, it does give us Warbird, though, which is strong. I think I've done this before, actually. I had Blood Rage Mask in a Shidai draft deck, and it was really good, because, like I said, late game it was a warbird, which is you just sit there and you BBS and you win. I think that's probably worth it actually, over the Jade Monk. We do have 4 wins Magi for the same effect, but that can die. Diago is so good only because removal is so scarce. I think people can mostly remove it, but it does shrug off most like damage-based removal. Mask for Arcanyst. You really love the Arcanyst stage, don't you? Definitely not picking Drifter. I think Jade Monk is pretty defensible here as well, because our curve is kind of light. We don't have very many cheap creatures, and we're getting towards the end of the draft. So actually, maybe I should just pick this. The Monk's ability isn't great, but it's fine. Like, you can kill eggs and Heartseekers and stuff with it. It is something your opponent has to respect. Do you think Drifter would be too good at build 1? Yeah. Yeah. I tried to build a meme deck once with like Drifter and Cone of Horns. It was funny, but it was really bad. But if it was build 1, maybe it wouldn't have been. I think Arcanysts could do really well in draft because no one expects them. It depends on the cards. Like, if we actually get a tribal payoff, having all these Arcanysts is worth it. If not, we just have a bunch of... I guess we have a Sparrowhawk. We just have a bunch of cards that, like, randomly synergize with our BBS a bit. Like, a lot of the ones we actually have are good enough to play anyway, right? Like, 4 Winds is good, Bandit's good, Avatar's good in Shidai, Illusionist's good in Shidai. But then we've just got like a Sparrowhawk and an Araras Prophet. Are not actually that exciting. I think I do need this. I need to curve. I like the Warbird potential, but I think given the option to pick a 3-drop that's like, okay, I probably should. Having like high-ish power minions that can trigger be targeted by assassination protocol is not bad either. Joseki, Mist Dragon Seal, Rustcrawler. That's a tough one. The Mist Dragon Seal is a really, really good card. And we have several things it's good with. You can put a ranged unit far away. You can pump up something to attack. It's good with Sapphire Sig. We can get permanent buff. We've got a Scroll Bandit. We've got a Chakri Avatar. Lots of cards that are good with Mist Dragon Seal. But we also really need 2-drops. YOLO. Just gonna greed pick. Just this once. Now that is interesting. But I think I'm gonna pick this Gorhorn. I'm gonna be sensible now. Second Killing Edge. Versus Young Flame Wing, which we don't really need. We have plenty of 4s. Repulsor Beast, which is a pretty reasonable pseudo removal spell. Maybe I do just pick this. We have 2 backstab units and 2 Killing Edges. That's kind of a cute series of combos. 2 ranged units as well. I'm missing Mana Forger. I'm missing all sorts of stuff. Like, this isn't an Arcanyst deck. It just has some Arcanysts in it. Go on. I'm saying I need creatures and then not picking them. Blood Tier Alchemist. That's the card we want. Game, please. Another Saber Spine Tiger. A Silhouette Tracer and a Blood Tier. I really rate Silhouette Tracer. Because it has hidden rule text. Opening Gambit, destroy target Veil Hunter. It'll also allow us to reposition for ranged units. Either ours or theirs. And it's a decent body. Contest mana tiles well. You know, you can double spell with this pretty nicely and get some tempo turns. Kills eggs. Kills Heartseekers. Tiger, I guess, also does all of that. We do have 2 Killing Edges. But then putting a Killing Edge on this makes it a 6/8. That's huge. That's got value all of itself. Tiger dies though. It does. That's the problem. But Tracer doesn't attack for that much. But again, we have 2 Killing Edges. There are very few creatures in this deck with a power of more than 2. Yeah, we'll pick a Tracer. I think having a diverse array of cards helps with replaces and stuff. Now, ooh, here we go. So this is one of the best 3-drops in the game. We have 5 3-drops now. We have 1 5-drop, and we do have a Zendo, which makes Hamon pretty hilarious. I think this card will win us a lot of games, especially as we have a Mist Dragon Seal and a Sparrowhawk. This thing is, and an Assassination Protocol. This thing is answer or die. Let's go ham. Every day. Bam, get in there, backstab unit. Ooh, here we go. So Emberworm is kind of cute with Protocol. Hilarious with Zendo. And a good finisher, which we don't really have, right? We're a bit low on bombs. For 2-drops, we now have 4 2-drops plus the Alchemist, which is still not good enough. And we're okay on Phoenix Fires, right? So I think the Rock Pulverizer is the pick here. We are low on card draw. Like, this deck is going to be very... I guess Shidai's BBS sometimes draws a card. We're going to run out of resources really easily with this deck, I think. We're playing Constructed Kalias now. Kinda, yeah. I think we have to take the Rock Pulverizer. But I kind of hope some bombs show up in the next 2 picks. We need some big stuff. I guess epic cards are quite big. Alcohol is kind of good though. Let's do this. It's a 2-drop. And what do we get? Blood Tora. That's tempting. Combo with Hamon and Zendo, I guess. There's no way that's good, right? Compared to just another random ranged unit. It's not a good ranged unit, but it's still a ranged unit. That also has an immediate effect. I guess the healing is not bad. I've played against this card a couple of times, and it is surprisingly annoying. It's good with Giago in particular. Sticky minions like Pogatos, anything squishy that's damaged that needs to run away. Combos with Giago pick Ignis. It sure does. Oh, I just want to jam Blood Tora though, you know? Would be sensible. Okay. Well, there's like... We have 1 8/8 and like a 5/4, and then everything else is kind of tiny. So we're going to be leaning on Killing Edge. At the same time, we don't have a lot of finishes. Our curve's kind of low. We have these Phoenix Fires. But I think this will play out okay. We're going to have to be very aggressive, but that's fine. We can make tempo plays. We've got some value cards, right? Like Prismatic Illusionist can spew out a bunch of random minions to trade with, gum up space. Sparrowhawk's value. Jade Monk can be. The backstab units can be. Killing Edge on a backstab unit's amazing. We have some ranged units. They're expensive, but good. And then we have some hard hitters. So this deck can steal games. I think we're just going to have to be very careful with our replaces and our